Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Coaches Show right here on the one and only SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Avery Jordan. This is my partner, Richie Melgoza. And as you can probably hear from the ambient noise, we're at the 34th Annual Fullerton College Classic. Thank the heavens that basketball season is back here at Fullerton College. And Richie, what else do we have this week on The Coaches Show?
We got a full-packed lineup for you today. We got a bunch of sports. Obviously, basketball, we're here today. We also got cross-country for you guys, as well as some women's soccer. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of football at the end. No biggie, our 10-0 undefeated team.
All right, I'm here with Citrus head coach Brett Lauer. Brett, thanks for taking the time to join us here today. I know there's a lot of talent out here at the Fullerton College Classic. 6 of the top 15 teams in the state are here. 3 of the top teams in the state, top 20, including you guys, rounding that out. Is there anyone here that really worries you guys in this tournament?
Well, everybody worries us. Everybody in this tournament is really good. And I think 6 of the 8 teams were in the last tournament we were in, and we got to see them, and pretty good teams in this thing. A lot of good players and a lot of good coaches.
Now you're going into your second year of being a head coach. You had a ton of success last year. You guys were 24-7 last year. 8-2 in conference. I mean, that's spectacular. From a coaching standpoint, what made you so successful?
Really good players with really good attitudes that love competing. We had 6 guys get scholarships from last year's team, from all the way from Division I, Division II, and NAIA, and we had a lot of guys matriculate. And the younger guys that are on our team this year got to see those guys and how they carried themselves and how they worked hard every day. And that's what it's about for us, our matriculation and making sure that we're getting guys to 4-year universities on scholarships.
Now, you did the only loss you have this season is to Fullerton. You guys are 2-1 on the season. You beat the other team, Mount San Jacinto, that's here. Where do you think that you'll be able to find some consistency in your lineup when it comes to what you can get out of your guys?
Consistency in our lineup. We trust all our guys. We like to play a lot of guys. We trust a lot of guys. Fullerton was a great game. We had a lead. They came back and competed. It was back and forth. A very good team. Obviously, Perry does a great job here. They were play away from being the state champs last year and have a really good team this year. So we competed with them. We were happy with how we competed. Obviously, you want to hold on to that lead, but we're competing with the top teams in the state, and we're going to go let it rip.
Now, is there really anyone that you think is going to give you guys a lot of trouble in conference this year? Because I saw that in conference, Barstow's really the only team that matched your guys' conference record. But then you ended up playing Antelope Valley in, I believe, the 3rd round last year. Yep. And it was like a 3-point loss.
Yep.
Where did you guys fall short in that game? What was your guys' one weakness? Because I feel like you guys were the better team, honestly.
Well, we had beat them twice in conference, but they're a really good team, really talented. And in the playoffs, it was a close game, and they made a big play in the end, and that's basketball. They made a big play, and our guys, I was very proud of the way we competed. And like I said, 6 scholarships of guys matriculating from a program from that team, and that's what we're most excited about.
Now, speaking of academics, we spoke with a couple other head coaches, and we heard about the fast track program that's, I guess, now implemented into college athletics and education. Are any of your kids going through the fast track program where they take like 20-something units and they finish quicker?
We have not done that, but we did have a team GPA of 3.4 last year. We have a lot of good students. We have a couple guys, but most of our guys were qualifiers out of high school and are good students, and we don't have to manage it too much. And they're on the track that our academic advisors put them on, and they do a great job.
Do you think that last year's success can be not only replicated but improved and built upon?
I think so. I really like the group of guys that we have, and we don't focus on last year and what we did and trying to be better. We just focus on trying to compete and be the best team we can be in March. We want to be the best team we can be in March, and we felt like we were a great team in March, and it came down to a couple plays in the playoffs, and it didn't go our way, but we were really excited with our team and how we competed and where our culture's at.
Well, you guys were great even before March. You guys went on like an 8-game win streak, I believe, from January to February, like that whole month span just belong to you guys. How do you get the team to just perform so well like that?
You get good players that love to compete and hate losing, and that's what we had last year. And we have a lot of those guys that learn from those guys, that it's about competing every day in practice. And when you come out here, and like I said, that's the group we have this year, I think. It's early, but we got a lot of guys that really hate losing.
Have you had any surprises in your roster so far this season?
Yeah, one particular, Trayvon Watts, has turned into I didn't know what a great competitor he is. We love him. We love the way he competes on D, and he's all about winning only, and that's what we want.
Now, just looking at the rest of the season, from the coaching perspective, you came in last year, and you don't like to talk about last year, okay? But last year you were great. You just stepped in and you were fire. This year, do you just come in thinking, I'm going to just keep doing the same thing, or are there things that you can personally improve upon to help your guys do better?
Well, I do like talking about last year and the year before that. I like talking about the guys. We hang everybody's pictures and we talk about them, and we never forget about them and what they've done for our program. So we do like to talk about last year. We don't like talking about games and specifics like that. We don't care about records. We don't wear championship shirts or anything like that. We're on to the next year. But we do like to talk about the guys that have come before and built a great culture for us. And I tell you that, I kind of forget your question, but
no, I was just wondering what you felt that you could do to improve personally, just on what your success from last year.
Well, me personally, I know I can be a better coach. Your first-year head coach, your head's kind of spinning, and you're just trying to get your guys to play hard and do the right stuff. But me as a coach, I got to be. First thing I'll tell you is I got to be better with the refs. I got to have better poise, and I want our players to have better poises too on the court and just compete. But I was really proud of our group last year, and I really like our group this year. If our group can get to compete the way we did last year and be as tough as our guys last year, then we'll put ourselves in a position to make plays in March again, which is all you can really ask for.
All right, well, it sounds great, and good luck to you this season, Coach. Coach Brett Lauer, head coach of the Citrus Owls. All right, I'm here with Athletic Director Scott Giles. Thank you for taking the time to step aside and join us and talk about this tournament. We're really interested in just everything that it took to put this together. How do you where do you start when you put a tournament like this together?
It's mostly on the shoulders of our head basketball coach, Perry Webster. So when he took over, his goal was to make sure all 8 teams in the tournament were very competitive and ranked. And our tournament this year, you look through it, there's a lot of very competitive teams. Citrus, San Diego City, Bakersfield, us, Chaffee. There's some really good teams in this tournament. So Perry wanted to establish a tournament in which all the teams there were competitive, which equals power points, which equals, as we get into playoffs, that pays big dividends when you have a tough schedule. So it's really Perry's doing, setting up the teams.
So Perry had to go through a selection process. How do you figure out which teams get in and which don't? How hard is that process?
Well, as a head coach, you just make a lot of good relationships with the other coaches. And so we're in San Diego City's tournament. We were there last week. And so you're inviting guys that you like, guys that filled good teams, guys that are good human beings. Those are the type of people we want to come and participate. So Perry's just reached out and networked enough to get a real solid group of people in here.
Now, you mentioned all the talent that's here. You got, 6 of the top 15 teams in SoCal, 3 of the top 20 teams in the state. What do you think that does for Fullerton College's pride, the pride that Fullerton College has and how it makes Fullerton College look to have so much talent and so many good teams here?
Well, I think it just is a product of Perry. Perry brought this winning attitude back. Because a few years ago, the teams we had here in our tournament were not very good. We had Chaffee, they'd come in and dominate, but we had very few unranked teams. So Perry is a very proud man, and he wants to represent the school well, so he wants to put on a good tournament. But the most important thing is the teams that we're playing here tonight, when it comes towards the end of the season, we have good PowerPoint rankings. So you don't want, getting a win against a bad team does you no good. You want to get wins against quality opponents.
Right, so you have to have this tournament look as juicy as possible to everybody else, so we can get as much as you can before you get into conference play. Now, outside of Perry putting things together, what other kind of help do you need to set up a tournament like this?
Yeah, Perry puts the team together, or the teams that are coming, but then our sports information director puts together the program. We carry out the game day operations, from ticket takers to the PA to the table, our scorekeepers, hospitality. So we put all that together. So it is kind of a long 4 days.
Well, what's it like for you at the end of the tournament to see everything turn out successful in the way that you hoped?
Well, I mean, we want to be a good host, and that way people are going to come back. If they feel like they're treated right, I make it a point to introduce myself to all the coaches, make it a point to chat with them a little bit, and we really try to be really good hosts. And hopefully they'll come back, because we want these good quality programs to come back on a yearly basis.
Do you think that, not only them coming back, do you think that having a good tournament allows you guys to get invited to other good tournaments as well?
Yes, they want. Yeah, so we've really upgraded the tournaments that we go to, because other schools want us in it, because they know if they beat us, or even if they lose to us, they're going to get some PowerPoint rankings.
And this is a 3-day tournament, or 4-day, a 4-day tournament. How many people do you have helping you out? I mean, you said you have a green room back there. That's, a hospitality room. You've got people doing the stats. Just about how many people is that?
Well, we have our official stats people. We have 2 of those. We have our book person. We have our PA announcer. We have our shot clock operator, and then the game clock. We have our ticket takers. We have people at the doors to make sure we funnel everybody into our ticket taker. We have our snack bar. We have our music person. Our sports information director's here to write stories. I'm here roaming around. So yeah, it takes quite a few people. And then we have to have our equipment guy here to wash uniforms and get things up and ready to go the next day.
All right, well, thanks for your time. Once again, Athletic Director of Fullerton College, Mr. Giles, thank you so much.
Now we're being joined by the head coach of cross country here at Fullerton, Coach Geno Bewick. Coach Bewick, what's it like to be able to see your students be able to get to state?
It's pretty awesome. We've been training since August, and coming through this semester, you develop them throughout the semester, and finally getting to this point in November, they're going to be very different from what they were in September. And but coming now in November, it's pretty awesome to see they're in shape. They're ready to put a good race together.
Other sports here on campus, a little bit longer schedule. You have to develop athletes in 2 months. How difficult is that?
It takes a lot of training, a lot of motivation, a lot of enthusiasm, getting them to buy into our program, getting them to buy into training with each other. And once that happens, then it's on easy street after that. But that's easier said than done.
When you have high school students who are just fresh out of high school, entering college, what's the first thing you want to teach them?
Teach them responsibility, teach them that they need to trust us as coaches. And what we're trying to do, develop a program. They've had their program for 4 years. Now they're coming into our program. And unfortunately, we only get them for 2 years. But it's just, develop what we want to do, what's our plan, give them different routes, and really, just show them that it's time responsibility.
You go back to the OEC finals, and you guys ended up placing 4th out of 6, qualifying you for the SoCal Championships. How do you think your team responded in that situation?
I think we did the right thing at the right time with that race, and with the personnel that we had. And I think it was just the right step to make the next step to go into Southern Cal with our race plan to come into fruition.
You look at the SoCal Championships. How do you think your team performed?
I think our team performed very well. A lot of people stepped up, and obviously our times improved from when we went back there in September. And it's everyone's vying for that 14th spot, But I think our race plan, with them trying to challenge themselves to run with each other, I think they did the best job that they possibly could do, and I was very proud of all of them.
When you're looking at a state final, how do you kind of give your athletes a sense of what to expect?
Well, with Cassady and Brian going on, it's go out there, throw down your best race, go in and create your own race plan like they have been. However, it's go and do the things that you're capable of doing. It's a really fun, easy course. Couple hills in the middle, and both of them have not ran on this course, so it'll be a new course for them. But I think it's something that is very much doable with them, and they just need to go and connect with people that they know that they can run with, and that can take them all the way through the race.
In other sports here on campus, like football, you get close to 60 minutes. In basketball, it's 40 minutes. With your students, it's only 6 to 7 minutes that they can make their impact. How do you make sure that they stay on top of it?
Calm them down the first mile, and make sure that they don't go too fast, and so they don't have anything left at the in the middle of the race. And so get established in the first mile. Middle of the race is always let's go to work, and work the hills, work the up, work the downs. That's really going to help them. And then the last mile, it's just push to the finish line.
Is there any specific team that you think your team has to watch out for?
No, they just need to go and, obviously running within our conference, looking out for our conference schools will really benefit them. They know we've competed with them enough times that they can go and connect with somebody else in our conference, and that will be able to pull them along through the race.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
We're being joined by Cassady 9 High sophomore for the Fullerton College cross country team. Cassady, you qualify not only for the SoCal Regionals, but for state. How does that feel?
It's nice. It's like all my hard work has paid off for this season, so I worked really hard for it and I got there. So pretty excited for this meet.
What do you think was the most difficult part of that last course?
The last course, there was kind of more inclines than like big hills, but inclines I feel like are a lot harder because they're kind of continuous and just longer push, I guess.
Now you have to go to College of the Canyons. Have you had a chance to check on that course?
No, I've never been in this course, so it'll be new.
When we talked to you last year, you said the hardest part of your training was the speed training. Do you think that still holds true?
I don't think so because I've worked on it. I did track this spring, and so I kind of had time to work on my speed, and so I don't feel like it's my greatest weakness. I'm definitely prefer distance, but I got that skill back, I think.
What did it feel like to run in a very competitive OEC?
It was a lot of runners, so it's kind of crammed. It's hard to pass girls. So I definitely think that's the hardest part about it.
Now, some people, when they're running cross country, they say the hardest part of passing other people is that it gets a little chippy in trying to get past different people. Did you find that during the season?
I did. As you get to the bigger races, definitely girls are kind of cutting each other off, and you could step on people or trip. I actually saw a girl fall twice in our last meet. And so I definitely think when there's a lot more runners, there's a lot more contact.
As an all-conference selection, what do you think was your responsibility for this team?
Definitely to be consistent in everything, coming to practice and just being really loyal to your team, pushing each other. I think that's a big part of it.
How do you think your time here at Fullerton impacted you?
It's been a really good experience. I just recently came to California, so it's been a really good experience for me as a new student and a new resident here.
Going from Illinois to California, how big of a change was that?
A really big change, definitely. The weather, especially running in the heat, it's always hot. And in Illinois, we have all the seasons. So that's been a really hard part about running, but I feel like I'm kind of adapted to that now.
Congratulations on your OEC selection, and also good luck at state.
Thank you.
We're being joined by Fullerton College sophomore Brian Grande. Brian, cross-country season coming to a close. What was it like to run in the OEC?
It was great. The competition was pretty tough this year, so it was just nice coming out. But yeah, being my second year, I really enjoyed it. Being able to lead this team, it was great.
Being here at Fullerton for 2 years, how do you think Fullerton impacted your career?
I think it really helped me achieve my potential with the coaches and my teammates here.
You did really well in the Golden West tournament, dude. What was it like to be able to get that top 10 finish?
Well, yeah, for that race, like I guess the leaders of the race went the wrong way, so I had an advantage going the right way, and well, I guess knowing the course, it gave me an advantage.
When you talk about that, what was going through your head when you saw them veer off to the wrong way?
I was just like, I have a chance to really be on the top, and well, I mean, I ended up placing, so that was nice.
Well, thank you, Brian. Congratulations on being the second team all-conference pick, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right, thank you.
We're being joined by Coach Pam Lewin here at Fullerton College, coach of the women's soccer team here at Fullerton. Coach, sitting at 11-5-3, is this the start that you envisioned?
Well, you know, we knew we had some good players coming to us as far as freshmen, and we were returning a couple of key players as sophomores, so we had high expectations for this season, and yeah, it's lived up to that.
Two very high point getters for your squad in Morris and then also Remedios. What does that do for your team?
Well, definitely having Brianna Remedios up top gives us a lot of options because she's so fast. Other teams can't push forward on us. They have to respect her speed. And so it gives us an opportunity to kind of take a little bit of a breather, if you will, on defense because they've got to contend with her and they can't throw numbers up. And then, you know, having Brooke is kind of more like a strong forward, attacking kind of player. And she gives us the opportunity when she can hang on to the ball for us to get up into the attack. So having both of them has been what has helped us this year.
What do you think has been the strength of your squad?
You know, I think that we're disciplined on defense. You know, obviously we continue to work on that, but knowing what the role is in the positions that they play, and we've interchanged different formations this year. We've gone from a 4-3-3 to a 3-5-2 back to a 4-4-2, and just giving them what their job is basically, and having them buy into it and staying compact when we're defending has allowed us to get up into counterattacks and create some offense.
By changing to the formation, are you trying to feed into the skills of your squad?
Definitely you have to look at what our personnel is, and then the other thing that we're looking at is what is the other team doing to us. Do they have 3 people up on top? If they have 3 people, then we want 4 people in the back. Or do they only have 1 up at top, and then maybe we can go with 3, and then we can get more numbers into the midfield. So it's looking at our personnel, but it's also looking at what their game plan is and trying to pick apart their game plan too.
You have Morris and Remedios up top for you, but who have been some of the other sophomores that have helped you?
Certainly Tatiana kind of anchoring the defense in that center back position and really communicating when to push up, when to press. You know, it's kind of one of those things, if one presses, everybody has to press, because if one presses and we don't press, it's going to create gaps in behind us. And so she's really kind of been organizing from that back position. And, you know, I mean, certainly has been key in the fact that I credit not only the goalkeeper, but the back line for the shutouts that we've had this season. I believe there's 7.
Some casual fans all too often say, oh, the back line is just the back line. You can interchange parts all the time. How different are those positions to teach?
You know, I'm really lucky. I have really good assistant coaches, and one of our assistant coaches is tasked with doing just that, is making sure that the defense is organized. And so, you know, having position-specific roles and having somebody that will be there to coach them has helped us as well.
When you have forwards, like you mentioned earlier in Remedios and also Morris, how do you make sure that not only do they engage in the attack, but also come back just a little bit when their team needs it?
Well, that's where Christian kind of came in. Is he works with the attacking players more, and one of the things that we've gone over is, hey, we need to press in our attacking third of the field, because if we can win the ball sooner, we'll stay on the attack. And Remedios works really hard in that position. You know, when we're in a 4-3-3, she's the only one up top, and she usually has to contend with maybe 2, sometimes 3 defenders, and really picking apart and deciding when she should press, when she should kind of hang back back and wait. And so it's also something that we kind of, if you will, rehearse with the players again, so they know what their role is.
In the top 4 in the OEC, how do you continue your success in a very strict conference?
You know, it really comes down to recruiting, and like I said, just have some great assistant coaches, and you know, they're really helping turn the program around, and we've already started recruiting, and so it's bringing in that talented freshman group for you know, 2018, and trying to make sure that we retain, you know, the Remedios and you know, in the back, Bellinger, and just making sure that we keep adding talent to our program.
At the end of the season, what are you looking for your team?
You know, obviously our goal this year was to make the playoffs, and once you make the playoffs, if you're in that top 16 in the Southern region, you have to win 3 games to go to state. And so, you know, we'll find out for sure on Tuesday if we're in the playoffs. It looks really good for us, and then it's just about winning 3 games. But because it's single elimination, you can only take 1 game at a time, which I think is going to work well for us. And so we're just looking for that first playoff game.
Until next week, how much do you have to distract yourself so that way you're not thinking too much up till that date?
Not a lot. You know, we're gonna take Friday as we play tomorrow. Friday is a holiday, and so we're gonna give the players a rest day, have them rest their bodies, and then we'll actually probably know over the weekend. It's just the seating meeting is that Tuesday, so I really won't have to wait that long. And then we have our Orange Empire conference meeting on Monday, and like I said, that seating meeting on Tuesday when it becomes official. But everybody will already have a great idea after Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here with Tatiana Laskatov and also Brianna Remedios. Right now, Brianna, you're sitting as one of the top 2 scorers on the team. What do you think has been the key to your success?
I just think that our build-up from the back and passing along the sides is just, and practicing has really helped us a lot with scoring and our coaching staff.
Tatiana, you guys are 11, 5, and 3 coming into this point in the season. How do you make sure that you just take it 1 game at a time, not look forward to the playoffs too much?
You really just have to take it as it goes and do your best in each game possible, because you never know when it will be your last.
Brianna, how do you make sure that you play positionally sound but still not get sucked up into the emotion of a game?
Well, I mean, you can't take everything to heart. I mean, you're playing for each other, so you just gotta take into consideration all your teammates and just play for them, not for yourself.
And when you mention that, how important is it to make sure that you guys have team chemistry coming into the year?
Team bondings. We get along really, really well. We hang out outside of soccer all the time, so I just feel like we have good chemistry.
Tatiana, what are you guys looking forward to in this match tomorrow?
I want to win. We're all looking forward to a win and really just a good game and just leave it all on the field. But definitely a win would be very nice.
Thank you, guys.
I'm here with Coach Phil Austin. Coach, teams lately have been trying to slow down the clock against you guys. Is there a way you guys can combat that moving forward?
Like I tell our guys, just have fun with it. You know, if they want to sit on the ball, we're going to talk, we're going to have some fun out there, move around. I don't care, we start dancing, whatever the case may be. But they've been kind of getting off rhythm a little bit with it. But now we're kind of getting used to it. Teams are scared of our offense. So I take it personal. Like, you know, you scared of your offense, but you're not scared of us. So we're just going to have fun with it. If the teams are going to continue to do that, that just shows the coaches are telling their players that this team is better than you guys. So to me, it's a mental advantage on our part.
Okay, and if they do that against you guys moving forward, is there like a way you can fight that, or is it just you just got to play your game and let them do theirs?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do that. They're going to go 3 and out, throw a pick. They start getting down. I mean, last week they were down by 40, and they're still holding the clock. So they're worried about how much they lose by. Well, that's not our concern. We're trying to win the game. So whether it's 21-0, 6-0, however they want to do it, as long as we get that W.
All right, and you're also a special teams coach. We've noticed Justin Manny, whether they're not kicking it to him at all, is there something you can do to maybe get him the ball, force them to kick it to him, anything like that?
Maybe I could hit a coach up on Twitter and say, hey, kick it to my guy. But, you know, he's #1 kick returner. He's #1 punt returner. If I'm playing against him, I'm not kicking to him either.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck this Saturday against Golden West.
You did a good job.
Thanks.
All right, now.
All right, we just want to say thanks to everyone who took the time to do an interview for us, even the people that weren't from Fullerton College. Thanks for taking the time. And Richie, that'll do it for this episode of the Coaches Show. I'm Avery Jordan. This is Richie Melgoza. We'll see you next time right here on SportsNetUSA.net.